Hello, Aquarius. This is Terra Queen Jamila, and I am here to do your soulmate reading for August, September, October of 2018. So, welcome to the channel. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. If you need a private reading, the link to my website is below. I am currently running a flash sale that will be ending tomorrow on my 30-minute reading. So, if you guys want to get it in, make sure you get it in tonight. And anyway, so welcome to the channel again. Hit the subscribe button. If you guys are looking for spiritual work, spiritual services, the link to my website is below. My consultations will still be on sale for a little while longer. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to call to the spirit guides for the Aquariuses. Okay, describe Aquarius's soulmate. Describe the past life relationship they had. Why is this person here in Aquarius's life in this lifetime? Describe Aquarius's soul contract with this person. Okay, important lessons they are teaching. Okay, what important lesson is Aquarius's soulmate teaching them? How can they deepen their relationship, and how can Aquarius help their soulmate grow? Okay. Look at all these aces. Okay. Alright, I don't know why I can't never get these straight. Why I can't ever get these straight on here. My goodness gracious. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the first 6 cards here. So, the card to describe your soulmate, the Ace of Swords. They are either air or water. Okay, air would be Aquarius, possibly another Aquarius, either Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And then water would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Okay, so this is them in this lifetime. And so I feel like this is a very, I feel like your soulmate is very, they're possibly, what I can sense in them is that they're very quick-witted and they're very successful in what they do, because they are very sharp. So I just kind of see them as being very sharp. I do believe that this has caused challenges within the relationship, but I feel like those challenges will get better. So looking at the previous lifetime, the Ace of Cups comes up. So this represents where there was, love, happiness between the two of you in the previous life. But for some reason, I feel like you guys, I feel like you had feelings for each other, but it didn't go far. So I feel like that's why the Five of Cups comes up as a part of your soul contract, because it's like a regret. Okay, it's like a regret, as like what we could have did or what we didn't do. Now, why they're here in your current lifetime is the Chariot. So there is something definitely that you need to move on from. And so they are sort of like a focal point in that. Progression, I feel like also, I feel like it's, it's being held back for some reason or the other. Okay, either because of, and so it represents determination. It represents when you want something, you need to be determined to get it. So I feel like, they're meant to help you, transcend beyond where you're at and move forward. Now, your soul contract is pretty good here. There is some regret. There was some disappointment, and I think that it may have had more so to do with the choices that you made in a previous life, because I don't feel like you chose to be with them in a previous life. And I feel like there's some regret because of that. So it's almost like it's there, but you're not real sure what it is. Okay, it's a connection, but it's kind of like, well, what is it? Well, it's something that never did get to grow into anything else. So, and in the previous life, there was some regret around that, because I feel like there was either some sort of arranged marriage, or maybe y'all were forbidden from being together in the previous life, because the high priest comes up, and then the star card. So I feel like you may have been forbidden lovers, and that's why this comes up this way. I feel like the high priest is revealing, the star represents hope and healing. And, so I feel like there is a very important contract between the two of you. I feel like it's actually a good soul contract. I feel like it's somebody that you could, possibly definitely, feel like it has potential, but it's like an unrealized potential. And I feel like it's something that you can see, but you're feeling that disappointment. You're like, but there's some disappointment around you. But it's really because I think that you need to get more clarity on what that disappointment is. And it is related to your previous life. But there's disappointment around the relationship, Aquarius, but it has nothing to do. It was just the circumstances back then kept you guys from being together. And so let me clarify Five of Cups. Spirit, give me some clarity on Five of Cups. Clarity on the Five of Cups. Let's get down to the bottom of this, okay? So it had something to do with money, possibly. Maybe that person had some issues or some financial issues in the previous life. Maybe that had something to do with it. You got these three aces. But I feel like money is not a reason to not be with somebody. Like, that's a deep regret, because I feel like other things happened that were not good. So it's almost like you didn't, you married for money back then. You decided to marry for money, and it was a lot of disappointment surrounding you making that decision. So that's where the disappointment, and I know this for a fact for a lot of Aquariuses, that it is spot on as far as your previous life. So if that resonates for you, you can actually get a full reading, and you can actually get a consultation as far as, how to deal with those past life energies that affect you in the current life. Okay. The important lesson that they are teaching you, Aquarius, is the Tower card. So I feel like the Tower represents destiny, fate, things changing that you can't necessarily help. Also, I feel as though there's a great deal of ideas that you had about life that were sort of false, that you built around. So it was some false beliefs that you may have had based upon, and it did have something to do with love, because I feel like that bitterness sort of, that anger and disappointment. I don't even want to say bitter, but yeah, it is bitterness for some of you. It did carry forth with you in this life to where you were like, oh, I don't believe in love because, and you were carrying that. So those were some false beliefs. Okay. How can you deepen your relationship? The Four of Cups comes up. So there is some sort of emotional void, again, that's being carried. I feel like you need to fill that void with something. You need to fill it with good spirits. And then also the Four of Cups represents not wanting to take offers, not being open to love. So I feel like Aquarius is probably the one that is not being open to love, but it could be them as well. Okay. So, yeah, the Four of Cups also represents, okay, you may not, I feel like it represents, getting bored and sort of needing to keep things fresh as well within the Four of Cups. So I feel like it's, and then also it's where you can't look at other people, compare yourself, and decide, oh, I feel like it's where you sort of think that you're going to possibly do better, but that's not necessarily the case. Now, how can you help them grow is the World card. So I feel like a lot of Aquariuses are not really open to being with this person. And I think it's because you're sensing you need to make sense of what these energies are that's coming in from the previous life. Because I feel like it's something that sort of bugs you or bothers you about that person. But I just kind of feel like your intuition might be a little off. So I feel like there needs to be some kind of closure. Also, another thing, I feel like distance is a problem. I feel like you're possibly in a different location. Okay, so the Chariot and the World card indicate some kind of travel. So, maybe there's some travel plans that need to be made so that you can, meet up with each other because, obviously something's going on, especially, if you're talking to somebody and you're talking to them online, or either you live a distance from them, that in itself can cause challenges within the relationship. But I also feel as though there's challenges emotionally, okay, for the both of you. So both of you need to teach each other something major. Okay, some of you, I really feel strongly that you possibly could be dealing with a water sign that could be stuck in the past. It's a possibility. Okay. So if they're stuck in the past, sometimes moving on is like the best antidote, because then, or just kind of focusing on something else, living your life and being, doing you and not necessarily stressing about the situation. Okay, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe it's all about, because I do know that the Tower is about divine timing. So I feel like I'm seeing different energies for different Aquariuses right now. Sort of like mixed signals coming from both sides. And I think it's literally got something to do with a misunderstanding. And maybe even some insecurities. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching, Aquarius. Hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and I'll see y'all later. Love and light.